Fans, it's been a night here at Petty's Pub, 6520 Chapman Highway in Knoxville, and we have had Bishop, and Bishop has just made himself at home here
I did.
on Knoxville Wrestle Talk, Tennessee, and we heard your segment, we heard your comments, and we know what you have coming up, we know what you're going to do, and our fans, they have other questions for you. We've had those questions submitted for a few days, and we know that these are going to be some tough ones. So sometimes
what
you
they talking about?
May need a minute to think about it. But Bishop, when did you first watch pro wrestling, like at all?
I can't think of the year, okay, but I know it was the John Cena, Batista. They still had the undisputed belt. So it was before they had the spinner belt, you know? So was it the aggression, attitude, whatever the aggression with John Cena? That's when I started watching. Rey Mysterio was my favorite. John Cena, Randy Orton, before he had the tattoos, before he had the I hear voices in my head. That's when I started watching.
Tell us about it. Tell us about growing up. Where'd you grow up at?
I grew up in Knoxville. Around 2-ish, I moved to Temple, Florida, and then I came back around like 3rd grade, and been in Knoxville ever since.
And so when you came back to Knoxville, you hadn't seen any wrestling, right? At that point in time, or do you remember seeing?
I think that's when I started getting into wrestling. Was when I came back to Knoxville from Florida, and then also a lot of people wouldn't know this because I don't tell all my business, but my grandfather actually was a wrestler and a referee at
What's
one
his
point.
name?
His name is Joe Carr. I don't know what he went as, I forgot, as a wrestler, but Joe Carr as a referee, and he did Smoky Mountain Wrestling. That's where he even met Ric Flair. So I feel like it's always been a part of my life, no matter what.
We have a young man here who's doing great things around East Tennessee and around our region with pro wrestling, but we want to learn more about Bishop and Bishop tonight. You've shared with us your first experiences of watching wrestling.
Yeah.
And so who was your biggest influence in wrestling? Who were you around the most that made you just think, hey, this is a lot. I'm watching it a lot, and this is what I want to do?
I think the first person, of course, that was like the main big influence on me was John Cena. I was born in '98. I'm not too old or too young, but John Cena was that guy during my era. So that was a big influence. Randy Orton was a big influence. But if we're talking about nowadays, maybe a little bit of Roman Reigns, maybe a little bit of Jey Uso, Jacob Fatu, the whole Samoan dynasty may have a bit of influence. But from when I liked wrestling, John Cena, Batista, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, all those greats that we had in those times. That's what influenced me.
So we're going to rephrase that question shortly, but recently WWE here in 2025 in Knoxville, John Cena's last appearance. They were sold out in Knoxville.
Was there?
So many people. You were there.
I was
you
there.
were in the lobby. So many people came up to you, including people I know. So many people came up to you.
Yeah.
What was it like to have people come? And I know that you're doing your own thing and that you're being yourself.
Yeah.
And you were there being yourself that night. But you were there as a fan as well as someone who I think were seen by people who were influenced by you in some way or the other.
Yeah.
And so, what was your experience like that night? And kind of for the first time ever having people come up to you, and I'm sure people have in the past before that, but coming up to you and recognizing you or acknowledging you as they.
That's honorable.
I acknowledge you right now, so.
As you should.
Yes.
But it felt good because I know they didn't know me as maybe the Supreme One, Bishop Tagaloa, but they knew that I was someone important. I was there as a fan, but they seen somebody that was like, nah, he needs to be part of the show. So WWE hit my line. But I went there and was like, man, the energy I had myself as a fan, man, it was immaculate. Like, it was SmackDown, but they had Jey Uso randomly appear, and it just like, I felt the fan in me was like, I was too much of a fan. I'm usually a chill guy, but it was like when Jey Uso hit, I was like starstruck. But it's like, it just also showed me like, man, these people could be feeling that same way for me. And that was like, man, it was life changing. So going to that show as a fan was fun, but it was life changing. Like, man, if I discipline myself and I stay in this lane, I can be in the same position as these guys. So that show was amazing. I appreciate John Cena, I appreciate Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, and everybody else who blessed us. I got my John Cena shirt. I didn't get it at the show; they sold out, but I had to order it. Appreciate you, John.
And there's nothing greater in pro wrestling than for a wrestler to be a wrestling fan.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the most important thing for a wrestler to be. And, Bishop's certainly a wrestling fan. And, Bishop, you're making a name for yourself right now all around. But we want to know what happened with your training. We want to know where you got trained, where you started, how that ended, and where you started training again. We want to get into that tonight. Maybe it was something a little uncomfortable, but we want to get into that tonight.
See, I did start training at ETCW.
Yes.
But I feel as if I capped at that promotion and things went left. We went our separate ways. I stepped over toes and kept walking. I ended up at Net Pro Studios.
When you lost that opportunity at ETCW, how did it make you feel?
I felt as if like they didn't believe in me, that they lost hope in me. But I felt as if eventually that opened up to something bigger that motivated me to prove them wrong, to be bigger than they could ever imagine.
If those same people were to reach you today and say, hey, come back, wrestle for us, do something for us, what would be your response? I know that there's a lot in there, but what would be for sure.
Give me my money.
On the respect aspect, how much respect should they have for you?
They need to be kneeling for me. They need to be kneeling for the Supreme One. I should not have a match if it ain't for the gold. I shouldn't be in nothing less than the main event. They missed out. But if you reach out, just know, like I said, give me my money. I'm main event material. I take your whole roster down. I'm the Supreme One.
What's happening? Next question. What's happening moving forward for you?
We're just gonna collect more gold. You see, after this November 8th event at KWP, we're having a tag team tournament. Me and my boy NSK will take down the whole tag team roster. And your boy is going to be 2-time champ. 2 belts. Mr. 2 belts in the building. Come on now. And it's easy work.
Well, fans, we had a great time here with this inside segment with Bishop. And Bishop doing great things here around East Tennessee and around the region. We want to ask you, Bishop, how our fans, we're going to put it on our screen here, how we can find you on social media.
Okay. So, Instagram and Facebook got some shenanigans going on right now. So, I have second accounts because my first accounts are suspended. My Instagram he is the supreme one. The Facebook is Bishop Tagaloa 2. I don't do social media too much. I don't do the selfies. I ain't trying to get viral. I'm trying to become the man. I'm trying to become him. I ain't got time for social media, but if you trying to book me, you can reach me there.
Fans, Bishop is going to be doing great things all around East Tennessee. And we know many promoters are going to reach out. And many of you fans wondering exactly who Bishop is. And you found out tonight. Fans, when we return tonight, we're going to be joined by Dave Jones. And Dave Jones and all of us are going to bring us hot topics. And then at the end of the night, we're going to have a slideshow with all the great wrestling posters of all the great events happening this weekend. So make sure you stay tuned. And thank you so much for inviting us into your homes tonight. Thank you for joining us on social media. Fans, we'd like to thank Agenda Video and Mr. Dave Jones. And Yahoo is his email domain. And it's agendavideo1 at yahoo.com. Yes. And he did it amazingly. We also like to thank our stage manager, Miss Cindy, back here. And we have some other great folks. Folks, we're broadcasting live from Petty's Pub on 6520 Chapman Highway in Knoxville. We want to tell you about Petty's Pub real quick, fans. They have a lot of great stuff going on every night of the week right here where the old Walmart used to be. A lot of great food, and fans are famous for what's called their sandwiches. And so sandwiches, there's so many of them. Grilled chicken, fried chicken, Italian beef, Italian deli, ham deli, turkey deli, fried bologna, and Philly sausage, and so much more. Fans, get out here, 6520 Chapman Highway, Petty's Pub here in Knoxville. Fans, Dave Jones, he's the ever popular one, and he'll be back with us on Hot Topics right here on Knoxville Wrestle Talk. Thank you, Bishop. And man alive, that made me jump. But fans, we'll be right back in just a moment.